Welcome to the lesson on quadrilaterals. You're going to really want your notebook for this one. So make sure it's ready. Here we go. All right, some notes for quadrilaterals. Notice there's some different categories for our quadrilaterals. We have kind of the trapezoid family, the kite family, and the parallelogram family. A quadrilateral, the word quad means four, lateral means side. So it's a four-sided object. Now, each of these has a different definition. Please make sure you write the definitions down exactly as they are. I'm going to change colors so you can see some of my different things here. A trapezoid has exactly one pair of parallel sides. In order to show parallel, we draw arrows. Parallel means the lines will never cross, even if I continued them on forever and ever beyond. If I kept continuing them on, they're never going to cross, just like railroad tracks. An isosceles trapezoid has that same definition, exactly one pair of parallel sides. So we have that here. But it also says two congruent sides. The word congruent means the same. We draw lines to show where things are equal. So the left side is equal to the right. The next one is a kite. The kite says adjacent sides are congruent. Adjacent means that they are touching by a point. So this one is congruent or the same as this one. And this one here is congruent to this one here. Notice we added another line dash so that you can see the differences as to where they match, what they're congruent with. Now we're going to move over to the parallelogram family. A parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides. So it has the top and bottoms, and we're going to do a double arrow to show those sides. Now, what I want you to notice is that's the first definition in every single one of these items. So they all have the same part of that definition. So everything under a parallelogram is a parallelogram because it has its definition of two pairs of parallel sides. Moving down from the parallelogram, we have a rhombus. Whoop, only need one arrow right there. Let's get our arrows finished before we move into rhombus. A rhombus also includes all sides are congruent. So we can draw our stick. All sides are equal. A square also has that in its definition. So a square is a rhombus. Moving over to the next side, a rectangle has 90-degree angles. So these little boxes represent 90 degrees. And a square also has that in its definition. So a square is also a rectangle. However, a rectangle cannot be a square because a square says all sides are congruent and a rectangle doesn't match that definition. So a square can be called everything above it, but the things above it cannot be called the things below it because they don't fit the definition. Make sure you pause this video, really write down some good notes on this, maybe even make some flashcards about the different shapes and their definitions. One side the shape, one side the definition. Let's take a look at an example. If this says opposite sides are equal, two pairs of parallel sides. So if we look back at our chart, we know it has to fall in this parallelogram family. So the parallelogram family says that it has two pairs of parallel sides. So it's going to be one of these shapes we're drawing. Now the other definition isn't on that. It says opposite sides are equal. Well, if I looked at all those shapes, I know that a rectangle has opposite sides that are equal. This is equal with this. This is equal with this.
Everybody riding the early bus can meet up front. If you're
Sorry
riding
about
the
the
early
early bus
bus,
announcement.
please meet up front.
And it has those parallel sides. But it has no right angle, so it can't be this. The only other shape then would be a parallelogram. A parallelogram has those two pairs of parallel sides and opposite sides are equal. So this is going to be called a parallelogram. And make sure you work on practicing those spellings of the words. Whoop. So that you can spell them correctly. Copy them down right when you take those notes. Give your worksheet a try. If you need to, refer back to the chart on this video. Feel free to take a screenshot of the chart even. It could be helpful. Rewatch the video if need be. Have a great day.